The next item is item number 7, application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Brooklyn, docket number 15-1161, block 260, lot 38, 278 Hicks Street in the Brooklyn Heights Historic District, a brick carriage house built in the late 19th century. This is an application to replace a window.
Good morning, Commissioners, and Olivia Brzee, Preservation Staff. The item is 278 Hicks Street, and the application is to replace the window. 278 Hicks Street is located on the west side of Hicks Street between Jeralman and State Streets within the Brooklyn Heights Historic District. Here's the subject property. It's one of a pair of 2 carriage houses built in the late 19th century, both of which originally had wood dormers at the mansard roof, as shown in the tax photos for both buildings. The wood dormer is still intact at 276 Hicks Street, its sister building. However, the dormer at the subject property was enlarged in the 1940s with the installation of a steel casement window. Steel window is also installed at the roundel window adjacent to the dormer at the same time, and this coincided with the building's conversion for use as artist studios. The applicant is seeking to replace the steel casement window with a wood casement window, owing to the deteriorated condition of the window. Peter Coe is here to present the details of the proposal.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Peter Coe. I'm a son-in-law of the owner, and therefore sort of in charge of repairs here. The main reason we want to replace the steel casement window with a wood window is pretty much a practical one. We could not find a window contractor who worked with steel windows who was willing to install less than 5 windows. The project's simply too small for most window contractors to want to do. However, we did find, at the suggestion of somebody at the Brooklyn Heights Association, we wanted to try wood, and we found a contractor in the area, Airflow Windows, who was willing to work with us, who does traditional wood windows. It's a very old-fashioned place, and I'm sure some of you might be familiar with the work they do. They do a lot of work in Brooklyn Heights. How does this work here? Sorry. All right. Okay. So that's essentially, this is the existing window, the steel casement window. 2 central ones are operable. The vertical mullions are wood covered with steel or metal sheeting of some sort. The current window is the frame is completely rusted out all the way around. You could probably, a good push, you could probably shove the whole thing into the street if you wanted to. This is the proposed design using wood, because wood is a little bit more structure, but with this design it is only a 7% reduction in glazing area, which is less than the 10% which I was told is the cutoff for landmarks. But essentially it fits the exact same grid as the existing window. And the mutton bars would be 3/4 of an inch thick, which is very close to the existing mutton bars. The existing mutton bars, they vary between 5/8 and 1 inch. And these are some renderings I did. A rendering I did to show what the proposed window would look like compared to the existing window. From the street, visually, it would be almost identical.
And the round one is not here?
The round one is in pretty good shape, so I'm not proposing to replace that at this point. When its time comes.
Okay.
So will everything match the same, will it all match, all the windows? The window that you're putting in, the round window and the door down below and all that? Will all the windows match
Matching
in
terms.
paint, the paint?
Oh yeah, it'll be all the same
So
paint.
you're gonna
It's a standard, everything on is just Benjamin Moore exterior black. It's not any kind of.
Which you
Yeah, and so, I mean, it'll look
Because I'm
cleaner
looking
than
at
the
this,
existing
yeah.
ones, you know,
Yeah.
there's so much kind of tar and,
You're gonna scrape all that?
exactly.
Okay. So, any other questions? I'll go to testimony. Thank you. Judy Stanton. Thank you.
Judy Stanton, Brooklyn Heights Association. The scope of work in this application is the replacement of an existing non-historic set of steel windows in the front dormer of this late 19th century carriage house. Our committee finds the proposed wood casement window and side lights to be well-designed and detailed, and an appropriate match for the badly deteriorated assembly it is to replace. We're pleased to support this application.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, that concludes the testimony. Totally appropriate. Excellent job, Fred. Further discussion?
Discussion, yeah.
Yes.
Completely appropriate. I mean, I think the enlargement of the window in the 40s changed the situation, but it's been there for all this time. So really, we're looking at just an upgrade of that condition, and now in wood, which I think is more appropriate than the steel initially. And I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's a sensitive proposal, and what's being proposed will be as close as possible, I think, to the existing proportions. I can accept it.
Okay, Michael?
If you really want to keep your in-laws happy, I would say you need to change out the flashing at the edges of the dormer too, and stop slapping mastic on there. Because, yeah, but I find the window to be totally appropriate.
Joan?
I agree, there's nothing to add to this.
Anyone disagree?
No, I do have a question, sort
Yeah.
of like that. It looks like it's a single pane glass. No, it's not thermal pane. I'm just curious. It seems. It's not a problem, just curious.
Air infiltration occurs
Around the edges, okay.
Okay. Hearing closed. Motion second. Michael Devonshire, please. Thank you.
In the matter of, I'm going to have to find it now, I'm sorry, 278 Hicks Street, a brick carriage house built in the late 19th century, an application to replace a window. I recommend approval, finding that the historic window is in a deteriorated condition, that the proposed wood casement window will match the historic steel casement window in terms of configuration, operation, and finish. Although the framing of the proposed window will be slightly larger than the historic window framing, the profiles and proportions of the panes will closely recall the details and proportions of the historic windows. That the proposed wood material will relate harmoniously with the original facade and its later alterations, and the proposed work will not detract from the special architectural or historic character of the building or the Brooklyn Heights Historic District.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Thank you.